Hi everyone, this is Honeywell. Welcome back to Surviving Mars. Our rocket is
material from the anomaly, and it completely validates our hypothesis on abiogenic petroleum.
We uncovered another anomaly, and I sent the slacker out to investigate. With these tech boosts, we'll always take a research boost instead of money, unless money was absolutely dire, and it's not. So I think we'll take the engineering tree. We usually get further along in that. As you can see, we also have our first disaster about to start. Let me pause that real quick. And there's not much that we need to do just because we don't have a colony yet. Let's bring him home to recharge. But one of the things that are going to happen for a dust storm is our moisture vaporator is going to stop working. And because that's going to stop working, we're not going to be able to produce any fuel. So I'm going to go around and turn this stuff off, just so we're not maintaining it while we're not getting any benefit from it. This will turn off as well. It's not a big deal, but there is. You want to save on your maintenance costs wherever you can. Now, we had an opportunity to launch our rocket, but we're still waiting for money. We have $1 billion available, but we need this billion that we're going to get from Mars crowdfunding in order to buy all the materials that we'll need to set up our first dome. There's been 3 patches on this game since it's been released. But I bought this version through GOG, and they haven't pushed the patches out to them. So this game that you're seeing right here isn't patched. This is what they shipped. And apparently there's a lot of bugs with the game and things that they're not happy with. And one of the big things that impact us the most is the RC rover. We spent $1.4 billion for our RC rover, and that was a mistake that got introduced in one of the builds. The rover should cost $400 million. So we have $1 billion less to work with than everybody else, which kind of sucks, but it's no big deal. So since we're waiting for money, and since we're using the rocket as a drone hub, we're just going to wait to launch it. What else do I have going on? They're scanning these areas. Once we get the plateau that we're on scanned, then I think we might scan a few tiles to our left and a few tiles to our right, because we need to start planning to, as soon as we get our dome up, one of the things that we're going to want to do.
Sector scanned.
Oh, nice. We got some polymers and water, which I knew there was water on this plateau. I thought I want to say somebody in one of their streams said the resources were randomized, but they seem to be pretty this looks awful familiar to me, so I don't know that they are randomized. I am not an expert on this game by any means. I watched the beginning of some of the usual suspects, their Let's Plays. I watched part of Sky Storm's Let's Play, part of Avic's Let's Play, and part of Pinstar's Let's Play before the game was released. Once the game was released, I've been playing it on my own, and I haven't gone to the forums or anything until this weekend, where I've learned that there's like a million guides, and I'm doing everything wrong according to them. So there's all kind. Everyone has opinions, but I've done just fine doing things my way. So you're going to see that. See how they're doing with the metal. Well, they're still working on that. Usually I would pull the rover right up next to the metal deposit and put something down. But this will just make it easier for when we get a transporter to bring this metal back to base. And what you'll see these guys doing is I destroyed this metal stockpile just so they'll consolidate all that stuff and bring it back here. And yeah, we're just waiting. I should probably pause the recording, I guess, until something interesting happens. I think. I don't know. How close are we to anything going on? I feel like if I keep pausing it, it's going to be like disjointed and you won't know what's going on. You guys can just sit here with me. I've never edited my videos. I don't have any video editing software. I think you can do a little bit of editing in Photoshop, which I do have. Again, what you'll see is I'll put stockpiles down next to the resources.
Meteor incoming. Cable fault reported.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Where's our meteor? Ah, we missed it. Did it hit anything? Oh, it did hit something. And maybe left us some metal? Oh man, we missed it. That's another thing. Like you'll notice I don't have any batteries or anything like that. And really it's just I don't want to spend the polys on them, the polymers on them right now. So it is what it is. I really wish these little guys would come over here and start taking care of this stuff, though.
Pipe leak reported.
And this is why you want to keep your... See, I'm glad I didn't pause the game. You guys would miss all this mayhem. This is why you want to keep your power networks and your pipe networks kind of small. The smaller they are, the less maintenance they'll require, the less failures you'll have. And one of the things, like I said, I haven't been looking on the forums, and I haven't been watching everybody's Let's Plays since launch. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know about this game. One of the things they said that you could do that I didn't realize was you could kind of daisy chain your power connections. So, like if you keep your power in like one segment kind of like in between your buildings, they won't fail. So I don't know, I might see how that works out if we can incorporate some of that into this. Did we get it all?
Research complete.
There's a little bit more over here. Oh, nice. We were researching this, and the reason why we were researching this is we want to increase the water that's being produced so we can start getting some stored. I don't think we're going to go with live from Mars. We're going to do apartments and farms because those will want. And that'll be good. So let's turn back on our fuel refinery, and that's going to need to be repaired. And with this, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our moisture evaporator. It's going to cost us 2 polys, but it is worth it. And since we're going to do that, we're going to put in a water tank. And in an effort to kind of to not grow our pipe and electric grid right now, we're just gonna stick that in there. And since this is upgraded, we're now producing 1.5 water, so as soon as we get this water tower built, we'll be able to oh, we need another concrete storage. Let's get on that.
Vehicle battery low.
As soon as they finish stockpiling that metal, we'll bring our rover back to charge up, and then we'll send it out again. Looks good. You can charge there. This is exciting stuff, huh? I actually enjoy. I actually enjoy this quite a bit. But man, does it seem like it's going to be pretty boring for you guys to watch. I don't know. There could be a slim chance that we could get something over there. Let's start looking over here. If this map is the same, and it looks like it very well might be, I think there might be rare metals over here. But I think there was a ton of concrete and metal on this side. Well, it's all gonna have to be explored, but I'm not sure which side we want to get off this plateau on first. This side makes sense just because it's right here. We could build the tunnel right here and be done with it. This side makes sense because there's water over here, and we're gonna want for the short term, our moisture evaporators are gonna be fine, but we're gonna want to tap into water sooner the better. So if that was the case, we'd probably put a tunnel over here by this water and tunnel off this side. We saw she. Okay, this is all charged back up, so we're gonna send her out there. And how many more days do we have on this? What do we do? 300 a day? 3, 6, 9, 12. So this was like 40 research. Once the drones have brought this metal back to the base, I think we'll go ahead and launch our rocket. because it's going to need some time in orbit. So we might as well. Do I want to start thinking about putting concrete down here? Honestly, I think it'd probably be more convenient. There's 167 concrete left over here. I don't know if it'll be worth our while just for convenience sake to put another concrete extractor down here. Probably not until we have the decommission protocol researched. It's so tempting to spend some money to outsource some of this research, but the money that we would spend on that, I want for parts. So yeah, we're not going to. It's very tempting though, let me tell you. And you'll see how quick it goes if you have the stockpile right next to the metal and the rover right there. And I usually bring this service area in just a little bit. It keeps everybody close, so when I go to move the rover, they don't get lost. And then we'll bring them over to the next section and have them do the same. Do we want them to gather up these polys? I guess we could.
Anomaly found.
Oh, but we can't get to it, can we? Fun times. The meteors, well, you know, they bring materials, they bring anomalies, which is pretty awesome. So when a meteor shower happens, I kind of root for it to happen around my base, so if there's any anomalies, I could get them. But then I'm also torn because, you know, my stuff. And what do we have? 13 polys over here?
Cold wave approaching.
Ah, our next disaster. With the cold waves, they present a challenge to our power. If I had heaters, I would be turning them on right now just to give the drones a chance to go around and maintain them. And I would be checking my power grid. And we can see that we have a surplus of 4.8, but all of this power, all of these machines are going to draw more power when we get a cold wave in, so we're going to install another wind turbine. And hopefully that'll be enough to take care of it. Now we're down to 6 machine parts, which is not very good. And there is the last of that. How are these guys doing? I think it's just about time to bring this rover back and launch our rocket, and we'll get our supplies. I think it'll be better to have the rover back at the base during the cold wave anyway. Let's set up another universal with everything disabled but fuel. Apparently the reviews for this game are pretty mixed. There is definitely some wonky stuff. The UI could use some work, that is for sure. And I love that everything in this game is animated. Everything is animated. There's effects on everything. It's really nice, and it's a great game to watch. And I really appreciate that. But what kind of takes away from it a little bit is, like, the colonists aren't satisfying to play. They don't stay where you put them. Like you'll go to all of this effort educating your colonists, or bringing in just the right colonists that you need for the job, and they won't stay at the workplaces that you assign them. They'll reproduce extremely fast no matter what you do. If you try and make their domes comfortable so they have a high morale, so they do better work, they reproduce way too fast. Like, you can't keep up with it. And so then you're resorted to doing all kinds of weird things to try to control the population, which, I mean, it just ultimately, it makes it less satisfying to watch. Even though they put so much detail into everything at this level, that would usually be enjoyable. And again, our water towers freeze, but that's well, actually, that's a shame, because we want to store water and we can't. But it happens. Okay. Let's increase this surface area. Let's move you over here. Are we covered everything? Everything is covered, and we're gonna go ahead and launch our rocket. Everything's off of it. Yeah, it looks good. Let's launch.
Milestone achieved.
We haven't, I haven't been paying any attention to the milestones. Where are they? I don't have anything to compare these numbers to. I've never really paid attention to them. And I've never constructed a Wonder or a Megadome, or had 1,000 colonists or 500 colonists. So, yeah, I've never finished the late game. I get bored with it before then. Like I said, like, you try and do nice things, and you can't. You end up just spamming the same colony you know, and kind of like the same dome setup over and over, because yeah, like I said, it doesn't work as well as it should. But you'll see if we get that far.
Sector scanned.
Where was that? Do we have metals? Or is it somewhere that we can't get to? Ah, right up here.
Research complete.
That's perfect timing. Let's put in a metal depot. Good, but not anything that we're really all that interested in right now. First things first, we want our apartment buildings, just because they house so many other people. It's not the end of the world if we have to start with regular houses, but since we have this stuff, it's nice. We'll want apartments and farms, which will just save us from destroying regular housing and whatever those things are, hydroponics. We want the decommission just because our concrete extractor is about to run out, and we'll want to be able to clear that out of here. I guess the next big thing would be heaters. I would like to do this stuff, but first things first for some of this stuff. Yeah, it's already Sol 17. Somewhere around Sol 30 is when I expect to have colonists. Let's speed this back up. Where are our little guys without controllers? There's one. Let's control them a little bit, since we have nothing else to do. Go there. Are they not going to listen to me? Yeah, buildings with depleted deposits. So, let's salvage that and get back a machine part. Now, what do we have? We have 8. Let's start getting this added up. So what do we have? We have 13 there. There. You know what? Let's start getting this together. And we're gonna need, I don't know, like 4 vaporators, and we need to upgrade 3, so that's 6. So 2 apartments is 20. A dome is 10 plus 6. So we probably want 36 polymers. And we have...
Anomaly found.
Can we get to it? No. Yeah, there's rare metals. So we have a bit of an advantage in that. I know that there's... I think there's water over here. And I think there's going to be a lot of concrete and metal down here. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It's still a little ways off. Let's start scanning both sides of those. Okay, so we have I'm gonna want 36 polys, and we have 13 here. And none here because I turned on the dome. Let's get our first cargo rocket. Prefab buildings. I want a machine parts factory. 2 would be fine, but I would really love to have 3 moisture vaporators. We want 10 electronics. 15 would be ideal. Well, let's put in our ideal and see. And I said we needed what, like 36 polys, and I started with 23. So ideally we'd want 15. Oh wait, and I still want a transport. Which leaves 5 for machine parts. That's not enough. Okay, 10 electronics, 10 more machine parts. How is this gonna be? That extra $1 billion that we lost out on sure would be nice. Actually, it's not the money, it's the cargo space. We need to build our apartment and that. Let's do 10 polys, 15 machine parts. I don't know which is going to be more important. Let's go look at our colony again real quick here. We need 2 more for that. One apartment building is going to house 24 people. And we have the tech to do that, and we're going to want to do a metal extractor over here, which, if I'm not mistaken, costs 5 machine parts. And we're going to need a ton more power. So I am going to say, and they cost a machine part. We need to load up on machine parts. Okay. Okay, it didn't save it. That stinks. Three moisture vaporators would give us 4.5 water. Let's go with 2 of those for now, along with the machine parts factory. So we'll do 2 moisture vaporators, 2 of those, 10 electronics, the transport, now how am I getting so many machine parts this time? 15 polymers, transport. You'll see right here that oh wait, that's only 300 million. I wonder why it cost us the first time 1.4 million. Or maybe it's the Explorer. Oh, it's the Explorer that is 1.4 billion when it should be 400 million. $15 polymers, which is enough to finish our dome, upgrade our water vaporators. With this 10 electronics. Oh, I wanted a drone hub too. Oh, decisions. I think we're just going to keep using our rocket for the next little bit. How much does the drone hub weigh? Yeah. We need enough machine parts to get enough wind turbines to power our colony. Plus, we're going to want machine parts for our metal extractors and our concrete extractors. So I think this is probably the smartest bit for right now. Let's go. We'll launch. This will get our colony up and running. So yeah. Good enough. Oh yeah, it would help to keep playing here. Now that we have our first supply rocket on the way back, and you kind of see how we deal with disasters. Turn off what you can, make sure that we have power. Turn off what you can to avoid maintenance costs during dust storms. Make sure that we have power to deal with cold waves. We send our rover out to gather up supplies. And then once we get our rocket back, we'll send our transport out to bring all these supplies back to base. We're planning on using moisture vaporators for all of the water that our initial dome is going to need. A water source would have been nice, but that didn't happen, so we're going to work with what we have. We're researching our techs, again, with a focus on what we're going to need for our first colony, which is apartments and farms. And other than that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this episode, so you guys aren't sitting here watching the frozen landscape. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to get our colonists in, or when we're doing some maybe a little bit before, when we're building up our infrastructure, some oxygen, more water tanks, and that sort of thing. But we're gonna call it an episode right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for part 3. Bye-bye.